Hello beans, hello and welcome back to Ickadoo Streams. Beavers, beavers, oh yeah, beaver, beaver, beaver town. It's the Danger Zone Beavers. Ooh, I don't know why I sung all of that. I kind of fancied doing so. So there you go. Na 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 na. So yeah, you join me back in Danger Zone Beavers, Danger Zone Town. So far, kind of trying to make sure that everything that we tried to build last episode finishes building this episode. Because yeah, we got a few projects on the go. Mostly the dam where we try and divide and conquer, and also the dam further up, and the special new water pumps as well. Okay, maybe we built quite a bit, and yeah, so now we need to play a bit of catch up because we don't have the materials for everything that we've just built. I am going to try and get a builder's hut down though to see if we can shimmy it all along a little bit faster. But with the lack of space, I'm really not sure like how to utilise the area. So I've given up on that idea actually, and gonna sort of pause a couple of things that maybe aren't the most urgent thing to build right now this second. Oh my gosh, maybe. So we'll see. We've gone into what is now oh my god, 12 days! A 12-day drought. So these are starting to pick up. They started off of like 3s and 5s. We've gone now for 9-ish was the regular. This is now an 11-day drought. I thought they were going to stay under 10, so this is going to be a challenge, but I'm not too worried so far. We've got a good amount of water, we've got a good amount of food. We're just chucking down some more storage so we can get some more bits saved up for when these things do happen. And if these are going to happen with more frequency, the longer droughts, I really want to get the idea of sectioning off this bit of the water going. Because if we can't, there may be some problems. So yeah, we're really utilising the priority orders here, so we can tell beavers what to work on first and what to work on later. As I found out, you can actually use a button down at the bottom with the arrows to mass delegate what you want them to do first and what you want them to do later. Which has actually really made my game a lot more fluid. So we're getting rid of some of the crops now on that hillside there, just because they're not growing. And when the drought does come, it's not getting used. So we might as well just knock that one off and knock that one on the end. See if that'll get going. At least we've got these 3 pumps still working here while the drought is going on. I don't know, genuinely, how far down this water's going to go during some of the longer droughts, because so far it hasn't been a problem on this map. So far we've been quite comfortable, sort of. So, yeah, because if it starts getting well out of reach and we get into, I don't know, 20, 30 days, I think we might be... yeah, potentially struggling. So we'll see. It's early doors as we push through. So we still haven't quite got enough stuff built, which leads me to realise I probably need to space out some of my workers a bit better, and also get another lumber mill. So you'll see me trying to angle towards that a little bit later in this episode, because at the moment we just don't have enough going on. So as planned though, the new waterworks that we've got is in motion. The water's got low enough in that large lake that the pump on that platform now is accessible and usable by the beavers. So as the water slowly retreats, because you've only got 2 depth on the pump, once it starts going beyond that 1 depth or whatever, it'll I mean, we can keep pumping for a longer time, so it's a really cool thing to kind of use in that sense. You'll still always have a warning down in the left-hand corner, but I'm going to admit I don't pay much attention to those, if you know what I mean. half the time it's telling you haven't got the materials required or to build more pylons. So kind of ignored it a little bit. Kind of. But yeah, we're just trying to sort of jiggery pokery at the moment to see what we can get going. So including the new windmill, because that's another one. Because at the moment we don't really have a running river here, so we can't really use like water wheels or whatever. We're gonna have to find a different way of dealing with lack of energy. So we do spend some time, as you've just seen. I've tracked down a shrine. We do spend some time actually trying to improve their well-being, which is quite surprising for a game that was Danger Beavers and that I thought wouldn't go beyond episode 5 because they'd probably all die. So hey, there's a bonus. There's a bonus. Being able to give them a nice life rather than just a life. So yeah, that's unexpectedly awesome. As we get that going. So we've got another grill going in, just to see if we can kind of give them some more jobs, maybe give them some different things to eat, keep up with the income and the supply of. Hopefully maybe give them something new to nibble on, but I don't know where, if we were going to put an aquatic farm in there somewhere, I don't really know where we'd put it, because everything to get into the water is 2 blocks deep for most of the thing, and unless we use like some pumps or some water dumps, once we've separated off that lake area, I don't know if it's going to work particularly well. So we've unpaused some of the buildings now. So the new houses that we wanted to get in, I've said let's do those. I think I put those 2 pumps in the wrong place, but since things are kind of getting a bit more urgent, they'll have to do. Because yeah, that's the area in the lake that I'm actually going to use to like drain and actually have as more floor space. So putting pumps there means it's going to be doing nothing later. But when you destroy these buildings, you get most of the resources back. So I'm not losing anything by doing it. But we'll see. So now we're just scoping out to see what we can build and how we can expand. We thankfully look like we've made it through the 12 days of drought. I can't believe. And they do seem to be coming a little faster as well. We're getting one every other episode, or every episode nearly now. So yeah, we might see this ramping up. Hopefully we'll make all the way up to bots, the little beaver bots. But we'll see. You gotta hold your breath, peeps. Hold your breath. Drought has ended. Quick, everybody, go and use the pumps. Man the pumps. The wall is starting to come into fruition. I definitely didn't think about the placement of those pumps. But never mind. We can sort that out later once we're through some of the... Oh my god, panic. The pump that eventually is going to be flooded is eventually going to get flooded at this point because the water will be rushing back in. So, yeah, there we go. Flooded building, but that's working as intended. I'm not worried about that. Kind of the only nuisances, I suppose, now is that the water tanks that are down there holding the water, they're also flooded, so it means the beavers can't get to it. But I mean, the only time I really want those accessible anyway is during a drought, when they would be accessible. So we're not too worried about that one. Not too worried about that one at all. Struggling to keep up, I suppose, with the drought and management of things like the irrigation towers, because you don't want them working when the drought is over because the water's there. I have actually installed some mods later, which you'll probably see coming up in future seasons, where you can set timers for when you want them to be on, depending on the situation or even the height of the gouge. So you can put like a water measurement tool in, and when the water gets underneath a certain point, it means that building will turn on. When it gets over that point, it'll turn off, or if it's in a drought, it'll turn on. If it's in the drought, or coming out of the drought, it'll turn off. It's I think it was called like management or something like that. But it was really like it's a really quality of life mod, to be honest. Because it gives you a way to manage the buildings without having to constantly be clicking in on the things and kind of going, right, what are you doing? When do I want you to do? And also to be remembering every time you have a drought to then go and turn those things on or off, vice versa, is a real bonus. I suppose the only other thing I would have like on my wish list, I suppose, is when you're choosing the map, you don't get a preview. So you don't really know what you're getting into until you get into it. Like this one. I didn't really think too much about this map. I didn't look it up online. I didn't do any of that stuff. So when I got in here, it was like, oh my god. And I don't regret it, to be fair. But I do kind of think having a little preview of the map, even if it was a very basic top-down view, would be a really cool addition to the starting screen. So, as promised, or mentioned just now, 3 days away from a new drought. It's definitely coming thick and fast now, so we're gonna have to get a wiggle on how to improve these things. Fingers crossed. I'm not too worried. I've got the flooded pump should all else fail, and we do have a fair amount of food going on. So, but as we ultimately do grow the civilization, yeah. We'll see. So we're going for the second forester / lumber mill area, just because I don't have the production coming in for the logs, so I don't have the materials to build the building. So I really kind of want to get that up a little bit more, because at the moment it's just pathetic. It really needs to get a wiggle on. There is one thing that is kind of difficult building down from a platform, is that if you've got no space to build a stairs in there, you can't really get rid of the plant from a higher level sometimes, and it limits you on how you can get down to that area without having to build some kind of crazy janky path. We've all been there. I've definitely done that. The other thing to actually, I suppose, recommend for other people is when you are running low on resources. Oh goodness, it's another 12-day drought. Oh god. But when you are running out on low resources, is to have a look and see, right, who's working where, who's doing what, and also did I mark those trees for being cut down? Because actually that's a big one, and that's often one that I've messed up. So we're trying to get a better look, a better view here of our little high-rise establishment for our beavers. A lot of this game I spend zoomed out, and sometimes it's fun to zoom in and kind of have a look at the beavers up close and go, what are you doing now? We're trying to give them a bit more of a varied diet, but because they haven't gathered the carrots, they are getting happier despite the fact that they've got droughts going on constantly. So the shrine seems to have helped, because they've got something else to go and look at, I suppose. Beavers don't have enough to do. Who'd have thunk it? But yeah, and we finally got the other houses built as well. So we've got 7 babies on the go as they grow up and get bigger. Maybe that'll help. The trouble is you don't want to expand too fast, because you'll get ahead of yourself, and that's it. If you've not got the food or the infrastructure in place, you're kind of then asking for problems, asking for trouble. But we will see. It's a thing. Again, happier. I'll take it. I will take it. But so far we have managed to build the forester and not actually get down to do anything with the area that could grow trees on, and that's what I was saying about having the dandelions in way, is you can't get rid of the plant until you get down there, so you got to build a crazy janky line to get down there to get rid of the plant to then build the thing. It would be handy if there was something like that that could remove the plant from the upper level. But yeah, well, thank you all for joining in with this one, and thanks for the support. We'll see how they get on once we catch up with the building thing. So good night and goodbye.